welcome to the Pottervision podcast, the podcast where every single week, nearly, it's every other week, myself, Lukas Kirkby, had a man you might know, you might not, you probably do. It's Tom Lawrenson. We look at a chapter of the Harry Potter books and we use them as a springboard for a convo. This week we're on chapter 110, 110. It's not binary, 3 or something. 110, we've done a lot. And we're on chapter 15 of book 5, the Hogwarts High Inquisitor. And I'm highly inquisitive as to finding out how Tom is this week.
110. Soy bien. Soy tu amigo. Me llamo Tom Lawrenson. You see, when I say to Spanish people, my name is Tom Lawrenson, they go, got ya. Lawrenson! I was like, yeah, that's the same.
Hey, very good. Well, kids keep getting confused with my name at school. It keeps evolving in, the wrong direction. So I remember telling you that I was Mr. Kirkby. And now, someone sent me a card where I was Mrs. Cogbig with an O. So I was Mrs. MRS. It was Happy Easter, Mrs. Kogbig, Mrs. Cogbig.
Maybe that's why they thought you went off for a month.
I'd gone away to get all the legalities done on my name and my title.
Right, you don't change your surname if you're having a sex change. That's not part of it. I went from Mr. Kirkby to Mrs. Cogbig.
Exactly, yeah. That costs extra. But yeah, it's Easter now. I've got 3 weeks of holidays. And I don't know if I mentioned on the main pod, but myself and Martina were looking forward to going to Croatia for a week to get away from it all. And by it all, I mean Germany. But Friday, my car started playing up and the engine started overheating and we were supposed to be driving to Croatia. And yeah, 5 minutes of driving and it started smelling and the light came on and stuff, and then it kept happening. And you can't see a mechanic on the weekends, so we've just cancelled the holiday and we're just going to chill out in Alaman for the Easter holidays.
Instead of chilling out in one paradise, he's going to chill out in another paradise.
Exactly. Well, that's why, because I was thinking the other day, if someone had said to me, 5 years ago, hey, you're going to have a week away in Germany, I think, bloody hell, great holiday. So it's all about the way you think. Just because I'm living here doesn't mean I can't treat it like a holiday. So yeah, we might go out. There's some mountains near here that we've never explored. Ooh. So we might have a look to see if there's something up there, like a sign or something.
Or a cyborg.
Take me to Lukas Kirkby. Take me to Lukas Kirkby.
Hey, I'm here. I've climbed this mountain. You don't need to be taken to me. I'm here, cyborg.
Exterminate. Exterminate.
Oh, let's ask the doctor what he thinks. How about a little spell using my magic wand? Oh, no, it's the other Blongbogs. Oh, very good, Doctor Who. 100 series for you, methinks. The show that will never end.
Hey, but enough of that. Back to our show, which is all about magic and monsters.
Also, when David Tennant took over Doctor Who, he went like this. I've never watched it, but I've seen this one clip. So they do a little transformation from one Doctor, whoever the other one was, Matt Smith or something, to David Tennant. It goes like, literally goes like this. New teeth.
Well, that was probably around the same time as Goblet of Fire. Maybe he was just getting all his tongue action into one calendar year.
Yeah,
and he's back as the Doctor for 3 episodes next year.
Is it?
He's come back.
Yeah. David Tennant.
And then they're having Ncuti Gatwa as the new one. Who's
David
famous
Tennant.
from the programme Sex Education.
David Tennant, or as I like to call him, the single lady's dream.
Definitely. He can do the lot. Detective, time traveller, murderer's son with a tongue problem. Hey, look at that. Tom's doing a bit of magic with his thumb.
That one looks better.
Bit of prestidigitation.
Ooh. Detatius.
Ooh.
Digitus.
Do you know what? I reckon our listeners, if they had the time and the gumption, they could actually put the whole Pottervision show together based on our quotes that we sometimes do in the pod. I think if you're very clever, you could put the show together and listen to it for free.
I'd say.
Hey, I was going to ring you to say that we were rich last week.
Why?
I got excited, right? Because we got an email about a new patron who I'm sure we'll be giving a kiss to later. And it goes, we've got a new... And it doesn't tell you what tier they're on. When you get a notification for a new patron, it doesn't tell you what tier they're on. It tells you how much money they give you every month, right? So I saw this notification, and it said, new 60 something patron. I was like, 60? And I was about to ring you up. I'd already had my resignation letter drafted. Bloody hell, 60
Jesus
something a month extra.
He's about to retire on 30 quid extra a month.
Well, I looked it up because I wasn't quite sure what NOK was, and it turns out it's Norwegian kroner. So I thought, right, well, that could be valuable. So I type it into a conversion, I put 60 Norwegian kroner, and it equates to £4.50. Yet another baby Harry.
Well, still, welcome
But
aboard.
we are very grateful, because that's $2.25 each, and that's like...
Welcome aboard, my Norwegian
sweets or
friend. We are Norwegian, if you please.
Yeah, taking a song that's already very problematic and bringing it to Europe. It's like listening to Sleaford Mods.
Who's
great?
Who's told you about the Sleaford mods? How's that coming to your
Martina,
brain?
actually.
Isn't that mad? He gets his British cultural references from his German wife. Who's top of the pops at the minute, Martina? Oh, it's Justin Bieber again, is it? Very good boy.
I wish we'd been told, like, I feel like an old person now. I wish you could see in the future so you'd know, like, who's a safe bet for the next 10 years. Like a reference in, like, pop culture or... Because Justin Bieber's been, like, top of the pops for, like, 10, 15 years now. I think if someone had told me, right, all you have to remember is Justin Bieber. And that will be a current reference until 2027. I'll be like, thank you.
And what is the
Do you know
German?
what I mean?
And what is the German word for basketball?
Is it Bieber?
It's
Bieber.
It's Bieber.
Yeah. Play a bit of Bieber.
Because in an interview with Justin Bieber in Germany, they said to him, no, not even in Germany, but someone said, did you know that Bieber is German for basketball? And he didn't understand what they meant. He goes, I don't know what that is.
Well, I thought Bieber was German for beaver, the animal.
I think I'd know a bit more than you about Germany.
Well, I specifically remember because we were doing a little lesson in the school about lengths of animals and how far they can jump. And one of the animals was a beaver, but it was called a Bieber. And I said it should be called Justin Bieber, and the class found it bloody funny. Very good.
Wait,
So
how old is this? When you were like 10 or something?
No, this was last week.
You're peddling Justin Bieber jokes at the ripe old age of 28.
Hey, look, any joke I can come up with in the German language is an achievement.
That's like, I don't know. You're like the kid who has to face the wall in normal classes. Do you know, because he can't be with the rest of it, so he gets too distracted.
Hey, I have to do that teaching. The children have had enough of me. They go, right, turn round, Mr. Kirkby. And I have to turn round and face the wall until I've calmed down.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say something then and I forgot. That's disappointing to the fans, isn't it?
Maybe not.
Oh, I bet that would have been funny.
Justin.
Well, I can teach you a joke. Would you like to hear a German joke?
Yeah, go on then.
It's the first German joke I ever heard, right? And you can play along with this if you're in Germany, right? So if anyone says hi to you in Germany, right, you can have a bit of fun. Because hi in German means shark.
You don't add an Heil Hitler, do you?
No, no. Stop. There's more to Germany than that. So, hi means shark in German, right? So if someone says hi to you, you pretend to be scared and go, oh, where? Like that. It's very funny.
Oh.
Very good.
Very good.
I'll tell you what, do you want to hear a Welsh joke?
If someone does that for sharks, you get a bit scared. Hi! Oh! Shark! Oh. Okay.
It's a shark. It's a shark. Hey, but I'll teach you a Welsh joke.
Go on.
Right, it's, what do you call, I know that it's in English, but I've translated it for you. What do you call a bad Italian milkman?
Tell me.
Torri Batelli. Right, so Torri Batelli sounds Italian, but in Welsh that means breaking bottles.
Okay. Can I tell you an English joke?
There you go. Go on, let's hear an English joke. Let's have a bit of your culture this time.
My culture. Lovely. What happened to Kate Middleton on her wedding night?
Oh no, you've told me this. Come on. What happened to Kate Middleton on her wedding night?
She was held against her will.
Well, that's quite nice.
Is it?
Well, it's like being held. It's not too rude, is it?
Sure.
Very good.
I was. You're looking.
Hey,
well.
I've also.
Go on.
You what?
Go on. What you say?
Well, I don't know if I told this on the main pod, but maybe I did. But I've entered this competition about writing a pilot for a radio sitcom.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Well, I finished it and I've submitted it, but I won't find out until August. But I'm quite happy with it. The deadline was yesterday, so I kind of sent it the night before last. Martina read it and laughed about 4 times, so that's positive.
It's a good sign.
That is a good sign. So, yeah, it's a bit of alright. It was all based around Pantoland and getting ready for a panto with a few other bits weaved into it.
Very good.
Yeah, it's been a good process. I've enjoyed editing it. The trick is, because I was strict with myself, because normally I don't follow my own comedy writing advice. Because when you teach comedy or whatever, you say just write stuff, write with freedom, write as much as you can, blah, 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 and then edit later. Don't worry about me writing the perfect joke. So I was like, right, I've got to write this sitcom. So I wrote with freedom. I didn't leave, well, I was typing on the keyboard, but in essence, I didn't let my pen leave the paper. And I went, right, type. And then I spent the next week or so editing it and making it better. I'm like, yeah, it's a good technique. Better to get it out there and then fish out the shite.
Very good. Editing is a fun thing. But it's hard. Once you get started, you're on a roll. But it's forcing yourself to sit down and get doing it.
It's difficult to find the motivation. And because as well, normally if you have an idea and write it down, you feel a bit attached to it. You think, oh, that's a good idea. I don't want to throw that into the trash can. But you have to. They say kill your babies, don't they? Kill your ideas if they're no good.
Oof.
Yes. You been up to much this week?
I went on a small excursion to Amsterdam.
Oh.
I went for 2 days with my pal Ben Silver, but I made the mistake. I was like, I don't really want to go for that long because I got a thing to do. So I was like, I'll just go for 2 nights.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, I spent 2 of them days travelling. One day,
Hey!
all the way, delays and stuff, and then on the third day, all the way back. So I had one day there where I went to like restaurants, went to a museum of freaks, and then had an early night.
Hey, that sounds good.
You'll like this freak story. So we went in this weird museum on the outskirts of Amsterdam. We go in, and there's a guy, right, who works there. And he's like, no food or drink, and €10 a ticket. And Ben walks over to him, and this guy was drawing in plain sight of everyone. And you could see clearly what he was drawing. And what he was drawing was a GCSE level of artistry picture of two women kissing. Yeah.
Right, okay.
You could see plain view what he was drawing. And Ben walks up to him and he goes, hey! He goes, you drawing? And he goes, yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, what are you drawing? And he goes, a bit embarrassed, he goes, oh, two girls? And then Ben goes,
yeah.
And what are they doing? And he goes, oh, they're kissing. And then Ben goes, well, I love that. Did you know I was coming? You drawing that for me?
That's funny.
And then that was That was one funny thing that happened. And then the other funny thing that happened on the way out, I was at the airport going through security.
Yeah.
And what did I do? Oh yeah, I was going through security, and this scally walks up to me in a t-shirt, and he's holding his baby, and he's got no shoes on. And he goes to me, he goes, hey mate, you ready for your cavity search? And I went like this. I've already had mine. I'm going round again.
That's funny.
And then got all my clobber back on. I walked past him, and he was telling his girlfriend, but he changed the story a little bit. You know, he'd already changed it. I just walked past and I heard him go, and then he said to me, I've already had one, but I want another one.
Hey! You calling it? Come back here. I didn't say that. I said, I've already been once, I'm going round again. Say that to her, say it properly. I've got a reputation to keep. You worry about that, you know, when you tell a joke and then you think, if someone retells it the wrong way, you sound like a right idiot.
Yeah.
Hey, my mate's got this joke and it's like this. You know, but it's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
and it is
totally.
the way you tell it. It's 10% of what you say and 90% of how you say it.
You've said that to me since the day I met you, like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And
it's still true now.
What's interesting, I've heard people tell anecdotes, but it's just because, like, words, you know, like you change one word, it can completely change a joke.
Yeah, definitely.
Or if you don't know someone and you're hearing about something funny they've said, you're like,
Yeah. Well, because, like, that's the problem with it, because I'm getting emails in German at work, and then I translate them into Google. Then I write my reply, and then I translate them back to German. But I think sometimes there must be words that don't quite come across right. Because I remember I wrote something to somebody, I think my boss sent me an email being like, blah, 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 like, you know, proposing an idea. And I wrote, that's all right, you know, that's all good with me, that sounds good. And it came across just as me going, I'm feeling well. So someone sent me an email being like, I think we should do this for the trip next year, you know, and do this. And I've replied going, I'm feeling good today. Hey, okay, that's me.
Yeah, so you tried to say, all sounds good to me, and it's come across as, I'm good, me.
Yeah, I'm well. Yeah, so you got to be careful in this game.
Yeah.
This old game.
But I think
of
there's the
language.
understanding that I'm a dafty.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got to tell you something. I've got to do a course.
What on?
And it's going to take up all my time and energy.
What?
So, I applied to stay in Germany, right? And it was a pain in the buttocks, if you don't mind me saying. And the bit in between. And I've jumped through all these hoops. And did all these things, did like health insurance and bloody, you know, work permit and all this stuff. pain in the bum because of Brexit. And finally they're like, right, here's your ID card, you're here for 3 years, happy days. I get a letter in the post. It says, right, you're here, now you have to do your language and integration course. I'm like, what's this? So they're like, well, to stay in Germany, you have to prove that you're on a course where you're studying the language, but you also have to do an integration module where you learn about how Germany works. And I think it's like politics and government and stuff like that. So they're like, right, you have to do this accredited course. Well, I remember in my job interview, the guy who runs this school that I work at, it also does a language school. And he's like, if you ever wanted to do a course, you can do it for free. So I was like, well, that's good. So I signed up for this course, and it's 4 nights a week, and it's 3 hours every night. And I have to do it until next year, like 2024.
What the fuck?
And it's like I think it's like 400 hours of like learning time, and then you have to do an exam.
What the
So
fuck?
just to let you know, I'll be free Friday night and weekends if you wanna do the pod.
What the fuck?
I know, it's mad, innit? Like,
What a perfect
that's the other
opportunity
course.
for me to announce the Pottervision podcast is over. But may we all welcome to our ears the Tom Lawrenson podcast, featuring frequent or semi-frequent contributor Lukas Kirkby.
Hey, but when I'm not there, you can have guests. Connie, the Pied Piper, Lewis Shaw. Sorry that you were third, Lewis. You're just third to come into my brain. But yeah, we'll make it work. It's Martina I feel sorry for, because I'm bloody away all the time. Either teaching English or learning German.
If I was you, I would buy a van and I'd live. Actually, go live in a van, and then you don't have to have a job, and then you can just do the course, and that'll be your job.
I don't know if it quite works like that.
Why not?
I don't think it's anything to do with my address. It's the fact what country I'm in.
You ain't thinking, brother.
No.
Why do you have a job?
To earn money.
Why do you need money?
To pay for the hay. You're onto something there. That's fantastic. I'll forage for food, nuts and berries.
Black Forest Gatto.
Come on, they're just lying around the forests.
If you walked up to your local German Frankfurter salesman, like the little mouse from Aristocats, with your little plate behind you, looking hungry, I'm sure they'd plant a sausage in your mouth.
I think so, yeah. Forget the plate. I am having my mouth agape, ready to receive that lovely Frankfurter. Got any currywurst with that? Come on.
We should recreate your stag do.
I think so, yeah. Do it all again. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's entertain that idea and then
Never do it.
not do it. Yeah. Well, we'll just have to wait till someone else gets married, won't we? And then do something similar.
Congratulations and
So,
celebrations.
Tom, why are you dressing up your mate from school as German Mr. Bean? Right, it worked for my other friend, and it's going to work for him. I don't like Mr. Bean. You love Mr. Bean. You like Germany, don't you?
On the phone to you, trying to get that outfit off you. Can you send that Mr. Bean outfit over, Lucas boy? Don't know what you're on about. You wearing it Monday morning. Is that what you wear to work?
Every day, yeah, and the lederhosen. It shows that I'm. It's part of my, the rules that I can stay in Germany. I have to wear lederhosen and eat pretzels for breakfast. Yeah, and I go, look, kids, I'm, accepting Germany, but I'm not forgetting my English roots, Mr. Bean.
I would like to use this opportunity of being halfway through this podcast, or not even that, quarter of the way through or something, to announce to the listeners that the next Patreon episode we will be talking about Tom Felton's newly released autobiography.
Yes, it is called Beyond the Wand. It's in all good bookstores and probably some shit ones. And it's also on Audible, so you can listen. Is it him narrating it, I assume?
Yeah, that's what I downloaded. It's him narrating it, saying the words exactly as he wrote them in a little posh southern accent. But let me tell you this. For the first time on the podcast, it's like we're doing something Potter-related. So why not go to patreon.com/Pottervision to check it out? Yeah,
there we go. Hey, but reading the first few chapters made me think that we should maybe watch The Borrowers for a future Double Vision episode. That'd be good.
No way, because you know who's in The Borrowers?
Slug on!
Jim Broadbent! Don't do that.
Why do you hate Jim Broadbent?
I hate Jim Broadbent. What? Don't do that. It's offensive, Jim. I don't know what you're doing impression of, Jim, but it's offensive. I don't know what you're doing an impression of, Jim, but it's offensive. It stops now. Bean sprout, green bean. We are the Borrowers.
Bean.
Oh. I'm sure the thing
Cracking
is,
ass show.
one of the nicest things about doing this Pottervision podcast is we have a niche listenership, to say the least, right? And what is good about that is whenever
Does that translate to not many?
Yes. When I vent about something that I'm not a fan of, QI, people with dogs, Jim Broadbent, I will always get people coming up to me or sliding in my inbox saying, hey, so you know, you're not alone. I hate Jim Broadbent as well.
That's good, a bit of solidarity. Do you know what, actually, Pottervision listeners, can I just make a point on that? You are messaging Tom Lawrenson to say, yes, I agree, I hate Jim Broadbent. And yet, the other week when I announced Poppy's death, I did not get a single message of condolence for my beloved furry pet. But no, you continue to message Tom about how you agree that grapefruit is shit, and you can leave me to grovel in me grief. Anyway, do you want a fucking rundown or what?
Yes, please.
It's chapter 15, The Hogwarts High Inquisitor. That was a joke, by the way. You didn't have to send me a message of condolence. Professor Umbridge has been appointed the Hogwarts High Inquisitor. What does that mean? That means she can look in all the teachers' lessons, see what they're doing, rummage through their desk drawers, look in their hair for nits. Right, and she's making notes. Right, she goes to Grubbly Plank. What's going on with Hagrid? Grubbly Plank don't know, right? But she likes Grubbly Plank. She wants Grubbly Plank to replace Hagrid. Then she goes to see Professor Trelawney. How many years have you worked, dear love? That's a lot, considering you're still a bit shit, aren't you? Then she goes to Professor McGonagall. And Professor McGonagall is not having any of it. She's like, right, you stay over there. Stop messing about with my lesson. She's like, all right, Professor McGonagall. And she makes loads of bloody notes. It's fantastic. And then right at the end, Harry has a dream about being in a corridor. And that is the Hogwarts High Inquisitor. What a chapter, eh?
A chapter it was. Umbridge has been appointed the High Inquisitor. Percy giving it the big one in the paper. What a dilemma. Mugwump sounds offensive.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like to call it a mugwump. Whatever it may mean.
But it did
get me.
It did get me thinking this episode that it's about time Hogwarts had a bit of structure. Not just Dumbledore sat in his office, licking his pen, deciding what he's going to do for the year. Oh, I'm going to make Hagrid the PE teacher this year. Oh, I'm going to make Flitwick captain of the girls' football team. Oh, I'm going to make Snape the commander of the mermaids. No, right? Government's coming in and saying no more mucking about. A bit too long have these three been running around, living it large. They should be put in, for the lack of a better punishment, exclusion.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right about Dumbledore, because he's spreading himself too thinly. He can't be headmaster of Hogwarts, supreme mugwump, and chief warlock of the Wizengamot, or whatever he is. It's like, well, how many things are you doing here? You can't do everything.
But also,
it's like me, I had to give up badminton or swimming. Can't remember what it was.
No one asked you to give up either of them.
Yeah. I didn't have to give up. It was either gymnastics or going to McDonald's, and it was an easy choice.
What's really funny, once, when you were a younger lad, you put on Facebook, this is your status, you put, I'm loving improv and stand-up at the moment, but it's just very sad knowing one day I'll have to choose just one.
Did I?
And then a load of people commented going, no, you don't.
I don't remember saying that. Is that definitely me?
Yeah, it was you.
Bloody hell, what a maniac. Oh, well, now I'm doing neither, so who wins now? I'm here. Well, we're doing podcasts, that's like stand-up and improv mixed together, isn't it? It's prepared.
I'm Pottervision.
We're improvising, we're listening.
On the main show. But let me tell you this. I was chatting with my pal the other day, who's also a stand-up, about when you come off stage and you think you've done all right, and then the MC slags you off.
Oh, that happened to me in bloody Royal Exchange Theatre.
What happened?
They went like, hey, I'll tell you who it is. You'll know who it is immediately when I say.
I know who it is.
You know, yeah, have his jacket and a rucksack.
Yeah.
And I came on and I did me comedy songs and it went down all right. And then he came on afterwards and he was like, oh, and next we've got another singer. And he was like, bloody hell, it's the X Factor. He was saying, taking the piss, and it was like the X Factor. But saying it like I didn't do very well.
Didn't he go like, what was it?
Well,
Didn't he go like, what was that shit or something like that?
No, he didn't quite say what was that shit. But he might say something like, what bloody hell was all that, or something like that. Yeah.
But it was funny. I was thinking,
weird.
I was thinking of you because my pal came off stage thinking I went all right, and then Comic goes on stage and says to the audience, "Fucking hell, watch out for him in the car park."
What does he mean by that?
Well, he's going to stab you. We know who the school shooter is.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, no. Well, I did that gig in that rugby club where the guy who he headlined and he also booked the gig, and he like stole like Gary Delaney's jokes and did like racist, homophobic stuff. And then he slagged off my act after I'd been on as well. That was terrible. But yeah, you don't mind an audience member being a bit of an arse, but I think when it's somebody on stage with you, you're like, well, we're kind of in this together, making this show. Yeah.
It was like another teacher coming into your classroom going, "Don't listen to Kirkby, Mrs. Kirkbull, whatever she's talking shit, can't even speak French, whatever." But let me tell you this. Yeah, it's very weird. So you brought up the fact that Dumbledore has bit off more than you can chew. He's got all these titles: Supreme Warlock, Little Mugwump, Head Teacher of a school. But not only that.
Hey, we're not letting that slide. He's the head teacher of a stool, which is funny both as a chair and as a turd. It's Bogwarts. Anyway, carry on.
But not only is he doing all them, he's also trying to take down the most evil man in existence.
Yeah, right. You're going to have to choose, right? You can't do Hogwarts, Voldemort, Wizengamot and Mugwump. You've got too much on, and I can't drive you there every night. Every night of the week, I'm Mrs. Taxi driving you, Dumbledore. I've got to drive you to Mugwump Club, Chief Warlock Association. I've got to drive you to the bloody Deathly Hallows and back, that bloody White Tomb. Can't be doing it. You want me to go to a cave this weekend?
But it's like the age-old thing, isn't it? Do you quit swimming or badminton? Do you know what Lucas decided to do in the end? He quit both.
I quit both. Well, I can't be doing all these things. And that's what Dumbledore needs to do. His mum can't be taking him to all these clubs. It's not fair on her. She's got to have her own time for herself.
But imagine if, like, I don't know. So you're a teacher at a school, aren't you?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
What if it was up to you to, like, I don't know, settle this war in Ukraine?
Oh, bloody hell. Well, I get Wednesday afternoons off. So that'd be, I can answer a few Ukraine-related emails at that time.
Well, Friday, Saturday, you've got Pottervision editing to do.
Yeah.
You can't do it then.
Can you do... you can do Sunday at 4, Mr. President? We need to discuss you sending us some more weapons. Thank you, Joe.
The salute of a nation.
Yeah. Hey, well, he used to do comedy, didn't he, Zelensky? So maybe I should ask him. How does he juggle everything? Although, that's not me imagining that he is also doing the stand-up circuit at the moment. I'm not saying that. But yeah, I'm sure he went on like Ukraine's Got Talent or something. Something like that. There you go. But yeah, I don't think I could do what Dumbledore does. Yeah. I've got podcast, and I've got work, and now I've got 3 hours, 4 nights a week learning German. That's enough for me.
You also have a flurry of children you are trying to mould into good students. And tell you who's also a good student, Draco Malfoy.
Oh, he's one of the best.
Professor Snape starts reeling out the essays that have been graded, and he starts slagging off people who have got a D. Malfoy's ears prick up and he goes, "Some people got a D," and it's like, wow, he's confident enough to prove that he hasn't got a D. That's a good student. Yeah. Harry's not as clever as him, yeah. What you've got is a clever bully.
Yeah, and do you know what? It doesn't do to, if there's someone you don't like in school or in general, right? You can't just be annoyed at everything they do and everything they say. And, if they get a good mark, it doesn't have to be, wrong or whatever. You have to admit your enemy's strengths. Only when you accept your enemy's strengths can you, be better suited for victory. Yeah? You need to respect your opponents, yeah? He's a clever lad, Draco Malfoy. He does well in his exams, doesn't he? I couldn't believe his dad was only 41. It makes sense. But when they said Lucius Malfoy, 41, I was like, is he? Bloody hell. That was a tough wizarding war.
Well, just the Potters were teen mums, weren't they?
Yeah, so he must have been a lot older than all that lot.
Not that much. Only like... How old would he have been when he had Draco? Like 25 or something? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's true. But I feel like he's more like the Weasleys' age then. They seem to be in their 40s, something like that.
Some old shit like that.
Yeah, so Harry does get this... sorry, Smart TV printed counter opinions. Oh yeah, ignore me. He gets a bad grade in school, and can I say as a teacher, there's nothing worse than marking a bad test. Right? I've been marking maths tests this week, and when there's a bad one, you're like, writing crosses, writing what the answer should have been, giving a bad grade. You think, oh dear.
Oh,
And then you have to
why is
give
it work? Is that work? A bad paper?
Bad grade.
No, no, it's a bad grade, but like, is that work? Like when someone's done it all wrong, you're like, oh, I've got to write loads now.
No, not because I have to write loads. It is more work 'cause you have to like cross it and then write the right answer instead of being like tick, 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 tick. But yeah, but then you just, it's like giving somebody bad news, and you're like, and if there's a kid that's it's a kid that's like a bit emotional, I'll be like, oh no, I can't. I'm not looking forward to giving them the fact that they've not done very well. But what can I do? But yeah. Yeah. Snape, right? He goes, right. You've done your essay on poisons or whatever it was. Well done. Right now, your homework next week is an essay on antidotes. Like, Professor Snape, where is the 6 weeks of work before this assessment? You've just done an assessment with us, right? We need a bit of a scheme of work, a curriculum. When have we had time to learn about venom? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying here.
Yeah, I think they've got a week, haven't they?
Yeah, that's true, eh?
Speed learn. How can Professor Umbridge be inspecting other people's lessons when she has her own lesson to teach? Not only does she have one lesson to teach, she has like 7 years of people to teach.
I thought that, well, maybe she has one free lesson a day where she can go and do a lesson. But there's one where she does like 3 lessons a day. It's like, you've got 7 years of Defence Against the Dark Arts to teach. And you've got 2 learning groups for every year. You think, well, wait, that's 14 groups. Never mind how many classes a week you have with them.
It's got to be the time turner.
Hey, maybe that's what she's doing. Yeah, bloody hell. Imagine if that's the twist. 700-page book. It's the time turner. You did that in book 3.
It's back again. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. It's the time turner. Oh, for fuck's sake!
No. Deathly Hallows, the time turner. It didn't have to be a Deathly Hallow as well. We've had the time turner. Fuck's sake. I don't know about you, Tom, but I do not like the OWL grading system.
Right? Oh, me either.
There are 5 grades you can get. Right, outstanding, which is all right. Exceeds expectations, which again is all right. Acceptable, which is all right. Poor, which I don't agree with, and then dreadful. And these are the 5 things you can get. And
you can get troll.
Bloody hell, is that a real one, or were they just joking?
That's got to be a joke. But the thing is, the fact that poor is one, dreadful is one of them. Troll might as well be one of them.
Yeah, definitely. Because trolls are thickies. You're a troll. Well, it's a bit like those when you do... Because I remember doing music exams and like performance exams. And there you could either get pass, merit, or distinction. Or honours, actually. You could get honours at one point, or a fail.
I am honoured to take this test.
Lovely. Yeah. Oh, it used to be weird doing those. Did you ever do music exams?
No. Unfortunately, I'm not gifted with the talent of music. I'm only gifted with the powers of persuasion.
Yeah. Well, I remember doing an exam. I was about 12, 13. And it was like... You just get put into a room with this ancient retired music teacher who's your examiner. And then you have to do 3 pieces and then you have to do a sight reading thing. I remember once he asked me to take my shoes off before touching the pedals. Mm-hmm. And I tried to make a joke saying, I didn't know I was going on a bouncy castle.
Yeah.
And he did not find that very funny at all. It put a bit of a sour mood onto the exam, if you don't mind me saying. But I thought it was very odd. He didn't want me to touch the pedals with my feet, with my shoes on.
Either that, or he wanted a bigger whiff of your feet. What do you think to that?
Well, he did lift them up and shove them up his nostrils. So maybe, I forgot about that.
Inconclusive. That could have been something else.
Yeah. Well, there's no way of knowing.
There's no way of knowing.
Well, because we used to do drama exams, and then there was... I don't know if I've told you this before, but there was a guy, so we were in a drama group. So most of the people who were doing the exams were people from the drama group. But because it was an official examination centre, like independent candidates could come in and do an exam. And there was a guy once who came in to do an acting exam, and you had to do one piece of Shakespeare, one piece of acting from the 1800s, and then something modern, right? But he decided that he wanted to do everything in the style of John Cleese from Fawlty Towers.
Right.
So he did his Shakespeare speech as John Cleese, and he had the suit, the Basil Fawlty suit on. He did the modern piece as John Cleese and did the 18th century bit. Now, I know this because you're not allowed in the exam when someone else is doing an exam. But we were in the room next door where everyone was waiting to go in for the exam, and he was waiting there dressed as Basil Fawlty. And then he'd go off and we'd be like, right, good luck. And he'd go into doing this exam. And next minute, we would hear shouting, we would hear banging and crashing. And apparently the examiner said he'd thrown chairs around the room. Like he's going mad in Fawlty Towers.
Well, I can't say I find John Cleese funny, and I can't say I would have liked to have been in the room when that man was doing that. So, poor marks for everyone involved.
Fail. Well, how many points can you deduct for them being John Cleese? Because if they did everything perfect, like if the acting, the intonation was perfect, diction was good, they remembered all the lines, knew all the theory, but they did do everything as John Cleese, can they still get a distinction? I don't know. I'll find that examiner and ask. Yeah. I don't know, it must be horrible having your lesson observed. I had to do a lesson to get into school, to get the job. So 3 people sat and watched me do a lesson. But I used to do lesson observations, but not for the teachers. I observed a kid, so I'd have a kid that I'd be assigned to, and I had to look at their behaviour and see if there were any patterns, if there were any triggers, if there were, what worked well, what didn't work very well. And that was very fascinating. It was a bit psychological in that respect. But yeah, the idea of someone checking up on you is not very nice.
Yeah, it is a hard thing to do, to perform while being observed.
Yeah. Well, and especially because Umbridge is the worst type. She's interfering, she's not doing it from a distance. And at one point, she does what people do to us in the comedy world, where they go, go on, tell us a joke. She goes to Professor Trelawney, go on, predict something then. It's it don't work like that. My ball's not ready. Very rude.
Yeah, I don't think I'd cope if Professor Umbridge came into my lesson. I'd throw my marker up and a bit of chalk at the floor, and I'd go, I'm not doing it then.
I refuse. The ministry says. The ministry can take a hike, right? I like to do my lessons in private.
Do you reckon?
And then yeah.
Do you reckon the Hogwarts teachers let out their houses on Airbnb for the rest of the year while they're not there?
They're missing a trick if they're not. That's waiting to be... Well, I don't think a lot of them have their own houses. I know Snape does. We found that out. But, why would you need... you've got Hogwarts and you're there most of the year. Why would you not just stay there? Because it's a bit magic, innit? You can have as much room as you want.
The dating world. You can't be bringing one-night stands to Hogwarts, can you? Peeves coming in, looking at you. Ah!
If you want to come back to my place, you will need a CRB certificate to get in. Right. Tonight was going really well, but until you said that...
Then you went and said that.
Yeah,
then you went and spoiled it all by saying CRB certificate.
Saying something stupid like CRB.
Another little
that's true.
This is another little bickering chapter.
Yeah, they like arguing, don't they? Yeah.
McGonagall screaming at Umbridge. Yeah. A big tick for Professor Grubbly Prank. What a chapter.
We've talked about Grubbly Plank, and I think she's great. She knows what she's doing. She teaches good stuff, and she's on the bloody ball. And I do feel sorry for Hagrid. Don't get me wrong, and he can still stay on as gameskeeper and keeper of the keys, right? But he shouldn't be teaching, right? Grubbly Plank seems to be doing pretty well.
Oh.
Harry, so then we get Umbridge's own lesson. So she can't observe herself unless she had a mirror. She's teaching her own Defence Against the Dark Arts lesson, right? And Harry, even though he's already had loads of detentions, and even though McGonagall has told him not to rise to it, he can't help getting a word in with Umbridge when she's peddling tripe. He's got no slight self-restraint. He's like, that's a lie! Voldemort's going to kill us! Right. You can disagree with someone in your mind, in your own brain. You don't have to be shouting out. He'd be shitting a pub quiz, is what I'm saying. It's Peter Gabriel, Sledgehammer! Shh, Harry, shut up. Everyone fucking heard that. Keep your voice down.
Well, I think what Harry's doing is standing up for what is true and what is righteous. I think if I was in the same scenario, I'd be saying the same thing. You see, the thing is, you've got the fate of the wizarding world in your hands, and there's this new propaganda going round that Voldemort has not returned, that Harry and Dumbledore are crackers. So what are you going to do? Just roll over and let them say that about you? Or are you going to set an example in front of all these people who know full well the consequences of shouting out in Umbridge's lesson? You need to show them that you stand up for what is true, because you're about to get tortured. So you're like, wow, he's willing to get tortured. He's either insane or what he's saying is true. And what I've seen so far in the past 4 years of studying with him, he's a brave young man who, I don't know, is not mad.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I've got nothing to add to that. That was fantastic. Thank you. And so much so that Hermione suggests to Harry, hey, Harry, maybe you should start some lessons.
Oh, yeah.
Teach the kiddies how to defend their bodies from harm, how to defend their brains from harm. And he thinks it's a daft idea. And I did at first, because I was like, agreeing with him, I'm like, well, he's not actually particularly talented in a lot of things. But then he's like, well, but, I know how it feels to be nearly dead. I know how it feels to fight evil and have nasty things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's exciting. We're getting the seedling of a potential club that I'm sure we'll see develop. Yeah, fantastic. And Hermione, for the first time ever, says a rude word, doesn't she?
Oh, she says cunt.
No, she says Voldemort.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, silly you.
Ignore me.
Silly you, Tom. She says Voldemort. And if she's like any other teenager, learning a new word, she'll be saying that morning, noon and night for the next 5 minutes.
Morning, noon and night? Right. How many rude words from a little girl's mouth are you giving this chapter out of 5?
It was all right. We got some. Because I work in a school environment, I'm quite interested in the idea of examining how teachers teach. How are they different from one another? I like the idea that we're being planted with Dumbledore's army, the start of that. It was an alright chapter, not too much going on. I'm going to give it a middle for diddle, 2.5 little girls with potty mouth saying a rude word out of 5.
I accepted that this was a chapter. Bickering, Umbridge, hell. Is it misogyny that Harry has against Professor Umbridge? A professional of equal stature to Dumbledore coming into this school, and yet he cannot stand her. I hate to see it. It's a sad thing to see. I, for one, think she's trying her best, and she believes what she is doing is right, and you cannot fault her for that. But otherwise, things at Hogwarts are going pretty well. I've got to give this chapter no less than 5 foul-mouthed girls out of 5.
Wow, we were.
Now, are you ready for quiz? Quiz,
yes.
quiz crew. Gonna ask you some questions. How well will you do? Quiz. Gonna ask you about Harry Potter, Lucas. How well will you be?
Hey, wasn't it nice hearing it sung properly? Yes, I'm ready.
Question 1. How old is Lucius Malfoy?
41.
Correct. Question 2. What did Harry get on his essay? Moonstone essay.
Dreadful.
And what did Ron get?
He got poor.
Who is Professor Trelawney's grandmother?
Oh, shit. No, this was going well. Professor Trelawney's grandmother, I don't know. She is Winifred Trelawney.
No, think Rodney. Her name was Cassandra. Question 5. What is the last word of the chapter?
I'm sure I've been asked 5 questions already.
No, that was 4. Question 5. What is the last word of the chapter?
Sleep.
Again. You always think it's sleep. You think every chapter ends with Harry then goes to sleep.
It always does. There are so many chapters where he goes to sleep at the end. So if I don't know, that's my guess. He goes asleep. Now it is time for the nation's second favourite segment. It's Hedwig's Droppings. We're not alluding to owl poo. We're not alluding to ploppings. We mean the messages you send in when we allude to Hedwig's Droppings. What's in a beak this week? Well, we've had a couple of questions and emails. The first one is from Cameron McIndoe on Patreon. Now, Cameron says, now I like this question. He says, if you could attend Hogwarts for 1 year out of the 7 we see in the books, which one would you choose? So you're a Hogwarts student and you can either be in, at Hogwarts for a year, but in which of the 7 books would you like to be in at Hogwarts for? First thing in my mind is Triwizard Tournament. It's Goblet of Fire. There's so much going on. It's a good bit of fun. How about you?
The thing is that Triwizard Tournament, the only villain is trying to kill Harry. Right? He's not trying to kill anyone else. There's no other deaths. You know what I mean? And you can go to Hogsmeade if you want. But then again, the whole... is there no Quidditch as well? Yeah, Triwizard Tournament.
Yeah, come on, no Quidditch, lots of fun. Hogsmeade. That's our answer. Yes. I think everything else comes a lot lower. Yeah, so thank you very much, Cameron. We've had another message, and I'm hoping I pronounced this right. We've had a message from Margaret Rune Simonadotir, and I'm so sorry, Margaret. I've probably said that wrong. Margaret says, I'm very sad to say that I only discovered your podcast a week ago. But I've been listening to you back to back every day since then, and I'm trying my best to catch up before you finish the series. I've read the books and listened to the audiobooks a million times since I was a child, but you keep bringing up thoughts and points of views I've never thought about, and you make me laugh so much. Anyway, I really love your podcast. I've even been asked what's so funny while I'm at work, because I didn't realise I was laughing out loud while sitting at my desk. Can't wait to catch up to where you are today and hear more about your mould problem and school trips to France. All the best from Iceland and Sweden. Hey, we've got a
Iceland. Sweden.
Iceland and Sweden. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm going to try it one more time. Margaret Rune Simonadottir. Thank you. And we've had an email from Amos Diggory.
Oh.
So someone's filled in the form on the website, and it's amosdiggory@hotmail.com, which I'm sad to find out because I tried replying and it didn't go anywhere. I got an error message. But Amos has sent us a message on the website, and it says, "Hi Pottervision boys, it's me, Amos Diggory. Stop taking the piss out of me and talk about some good stuff. Thanks, Amos."
No.
Amos, you should have emailed us back when we were doing the book you were in. It's been and gone. We've taken
My
a lot of
boy!
My boy! Yeah? Do you like that, Amos? You keep complaining, we'll keep doing it. Alright? So thank you very much, Amos Diggory. I was going to tell people to get in touch with him, but the email doesn't work, unfortunately. Never mind. Right, Tom, we've got a load of new patrons. How many would you like to do today?
How many have we got?
We've got 10.
That is mental. How do you let this happen?
Why are you telling me off? People are supporting us, including with 60 kroners.
1 second. Right. You ready?
He's Googling 90s movies.
I am not doing that.
Hey, you've not done Moana.
What are you talking about? Right.
You are late for the dentist.
Okay, you ready? Give me a name.
Okay, the first one, they've sent us an email and they're a brand new baby Hermione. It's Cameron Mackindo.
Cameron Mackindo. Cameron Mackindo. You got 6 syllables, baby. What's half of 6? 3. You are playing a board game called Jumanji.
Oh, 80s.
You roll at the dice, and all of a sudden, some monkeys come out of the board game. These monkeys start scratching at your face. It hurts. Ow! Blood runs down your face. I hear the commotion. I run into the room. I grab these monkeys and I hit them against the wall until they stop moving. I lift you up. But unfortunately, I am the huntsman from Jumanji, and I hold a gun up to your face. Your parents come in and save you.
Bloody hell. And I've just had a look, and it was 1995. That's Jumanji. So thank you very much, Cameron Mackindo. Next up, we've got a baby Harry, and it's Rory King.
Rory King. You are in the swinging 60s, and you are in bed shagging a woman. Unfortunately, all of a sudden, somebody steals your mojo. You're in bed and you've lost your mojo. For Dr. Evil has gone back in time and sucked it out of you. Now, I am Mini-Me. You are confronted with me in the corridors of Dr. Evil's spaceship on the moon. We have a bit of a fight, but you're a bit enamoured with me. I bite you on the hand, the knee, I kick you in the nuts, but we resolve the whole issue. I give you some kisses on the face. Mwah, 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 mwah.
There you go, Rory King. We've also got another baby Harry, and it's Joseph Williams.
Joseph Williams, I find out you are my estranged son or something. I take you into my New York apartment and I start looking after you.
Yeah.
Right? Gets to a point where I'm like, go to the toilet and you can't wipe your own ass. I'm having to help you with it. We go for McDonald's, but we get there at 11 and McDonald's breakfast is closed. I am Big Daddy.
Oh, no, I thought this was Elf. It's Big Daddy, isn't it?
I am Big Daddy. It's because you're so upset that you're not getting any McDonald's. I hold you in the air and mwah, 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 mwah.
Oh, I thought I had it. I was like, right, adopted son, New York apartment, it's got to be Elf. So thank you very much, Joseph Williams. We've got another baby Harry, and it's Olivia Fogarty.
Olivia Fogarty. You are a baby in Paris. Unfortunately, you're a monster, so your parents drop you off at Notre Dame. They take one look at you and put you right up in the ceiling with all the gargoyles. Your name is Quasimodo, a name that means half-formed. My name is Esmeralda. I'm the sexiest girl in town. Unfortunately, the mayor of France wants to both kill me and shag me. I don't know which one he wants to do first. But also, you are in love with me, Quasimodo, and you want to kiss me. But I am like, no, because I am Esmeralda, and everyone wants a piece of me. But there's a bit of commotion, I take pity on you, and you are declared Upside Down Day's prettiest boy, and mwah, 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 mwah.
There you go, Olivia. We've got another baby Harry here, and it's Jack Bartlett.
Jack Bartlett. You go on holiday to a mysterious island, Jack Bartlett. On this island, you are with your sister and two people who aren't your parents. Richard Attenborough is there. And he's got a surprise for you. He says, look up into the sky. That's right. Dinosaurs. I am a dinosaur. I'm a pterodactyl. Stop it. I swoop down, bite your leg, and throw you into the air. Everyone is screaming because they think I'm about to eat you. But I've been genetically modified to not do that. And instead, mwah, 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 I return you to safety with just a few scratches.
There you go, Jack. We've got another baby Harry, and it's Leslie 089.
That's lovely. Leslie 089. You are a baby in Africa. And you are trying to solve a mystery to do with animals. You are in the back of a fake hippopotamus spying on someone. But unfortunately, the hippopotamus air conditioning breaks and you get too hot. You crawl out and a load of tourists think the hippopotamus is giving birth. But no, it's you coming out. You've landed on the floor. I am a tourist. I run over and think, why not? I'd love to kiss a baby hippo. And mwah, 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 mwah.
Lovely. We've got 4 left. How are you doing?
All right.
Hey, so thank you very much, Leslie 089. We've We've got another baby Harry, and it's Dan O'Reilly.
Dan O'Reilly. Dan O'Reilly. Come on, we can do this. Think. Here we go. Dan O'Reilly. You are a sailor, and you have sailed to the new world to find gold or maize. I am Pocahontas, and I've fallen in love with you. I take you into the forest, and I take you to meet Mother Willow, who is a tree. Mother Willow does not like you, and she begins to eat you. But she eats you legs first. It is the saddest thing in the world, because I had just fallen in love with you. But I think might as well get my first kiss before he dies, and
Here you go. Thank you very much, Dan. And we've got another baby Harry, and it's Jordan Lee.
Jordan Lee. I am an explorer, and I have sailed to a far-off land where I have heard rumour of a giant monkey. You are a giant gorilla. Me and my sailor pals take you back to New York, where we put you in chains and put you out as a freak show. Don't worry, I say to everyone, those chains can hold him. Unfortunately, you are too strong for the chains. You rip them away, you steal a blonde woman, and you start climbing the Empire State Building. I am in a plane now, and I start shooting you down. Dugga, 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 dugga. You try and bat me away, but I don't let it happen. I keep shooting you in the head. You fall, you die, and I think, what have I done? It was me who caused all this. I jump on top of you and...
Lovely. Thank you so much, Jordan Lee. Now, our penultimate Patreon is another baby Harry, and it's Sean Bean.
Sean Bean. You were my friend at some point. And I have a wife who is sleeping with her brother. You have come all the way to Westeros to be my first-hand man. But unfortunately, I die in a hunting accident. I think I might have been killed. You think you have the right to the throne. Unfortunately, they cut off your head and stick it on a pike. We meet in heaven.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Sean Bean. And our final new Patreon, our 10th, what a marathon of stories, is baby Harry, and it's Emma Bradford.
Emma Bradford. You are a street rat.
Thank you so much, Emma, for joining the Patreon. We are grateful.
You steal a loaf of bread to feed a monkey. You give yours to some homeless children. Monkey eats his, has a few bites and gives it to the homeless children. Bit dirty, don't eat monkey bread. You fall in love with a princess. Jafar tries to kill you. Who am I?
I think you're Iago. You're
either
Iago or Sultan.
I am the Cave of Wonders. What does he say? How do you know you're worthy? Touch nothing but the lamp.
The lamp! The lamp!
You pass me the lamp. I am now Jafar, and I go,
And here's your reward.
I try to slice you. Your monkey steals the lamp. You wish your way out of there. I, Jafar, think, what have I done? And instead of being against you and trying to kill you, I hold you in my arms and...
There you go. Thank you so much, Emma. And thank you so much to all our new patrons. And thank you to all of our old patrons with wrinkly hands. You are, committed to supporting us, and we're very grateful for that. As Tom said, next week we're going to have a Tom Felton episode where we'll have read some of his book, maybe all of his book, his autobiography. So catch that. And we've just recently done another Wallace and Gromit by popular demand. People liked The Wrong Trousers, so we did A Close Shave and talked about Sean and Preston. We're finalising our Edinburgh details at the minute. Are they available at the minute? Has that been announced?
No, nothing's been done.
No, not yet. So we'll let you know.
One of the teams done that.
One of our team will be on that. Me or Tom. Yeah, so once that's all finalised, we'll let you know. But we're definitely going to be at Edinburgh this year for the whole run. So it'd be lovely to see some of you in Edinburgh. But yeah, otherwise, in a fortnight, next episode. We're on episode 111. And it's chapter 16 of book 5, Order of the Phoenix, In the Hog's Head. You have been, without the Pied Piper, Tom Lawrenson.
And you have exceeded expectations, Lukas Kirkby.
Oh, that'd have been good if we'd have planned that beforehand. Goodbye!
Pottervision.
Thank you for listening to the Pottervision podcast. The music was performed by Jack Evans. If you'd like bonus content and to support the show, you can visit patreon.com/Pottervision.